Perimeter and area. The first formula they give you is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. It's known as P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. They also write that as 2 times the length plus the width. Perimeter is just the length around the object, which is a rectangle. All right. We know it as length plus W plus W. Okay, but they give you the formula 2L plus 2W, and that's what you're going to use. Write this down. This is the formula for perimeter of a triangle. P equals A plus B plus C. So all we're doing is adding all the sides. So draw this triangle. We're going to find the perimeter of this triangle. So we add A plus B plus C. So we add all the sides for perimeter. So we take 12.8 plus 28.5 plus 17. $58.3, and don't forget the units. I will count off on your homework if you do not write the units. For perimeter is a single centimeter, so 58.3 centimeters. That is our answer. Write this down. It asks us to find the length of the rectangle. It gives us perimeter and width. So what we need to do is write our formula for perimeter of a rectangle. 2L plus 2W. Always write out the formula and then plug in what we know. Well, we know the formula for perimeter is 2L plus 2W. We know perimeter is 42. That's P. We don't know our length. That's what we're asking for. So we leave 2L. But we do know our width. We know it's 10. So we work this out. We get 42 equals 2L plus 20. We know how to solve this. We've been solving all last couple weeks. So we subtract 20. Gives me 22 equals 2L. So I divide by 2. My length has to be 11. And we have to write our units, which is feet. Length is 11 feet.
How did we get the W that way?
It says width is 10 feet.
Oh, so that's how we got it.
Yep.
Okay.
How do we get the P?
Huh?
It says perimeter is 42 feet. All right. Any questions? Yes.
Hold on.
Oh. Write these two formulas down. These are the area of a rectangle. This is the formula for area of a triangle. For area of a triangle, I could also write the formula as area equals base times height divided by 2. Because timesing by half is the same thing as dividing by 2. For area of a triangle, you take 1/2 the base times height, or base times height divided by 2. It's important to know the base and the height. Okay, they have to do with the right angle of the triangle. The base is the bottom of the right angle. The height is it corresponds to that right angle. Okay, it doesn't matter. I could say this is the base and this is the height. As long as we know where the right angle is, where they touch, that gives us our height and that gives our base. All right. So in any type of triangle, look for the right angle. Right. The height corresponds to the right angle. The base also corresponds to it. It means it's adjacent to it. Write this down. It says the base is 12 inches. It says the height is 5 1/4 inches. What am I finding? What do I need to find? Someone tell me. Triangle of what? The perimeter or area? Area. I need to find the area of a triangle, right? Yeah. So first thing I do is I look up my formula. I find that it's base times height divided by 2. Okay? Or 1/2 base times the height, right? They're the same thing. Timesing by half is the same thing as dividing by 2. So I write the half. I write my base, which is 12. I write it over 1. Right? I replace my height with 5 1/4. Now what I want to do is make that an improper fraction. So I take 5 times 4 plus 1, 21 over 4. Now I go to work. 1/2 times 12 times 21 over 4. So I take out 4. Take out 4, it gives me 3. Is there anything else I can do? I've taken 4 out, so now I'm left with 3 times 21 on top. I'm left with 2 on bottom. So 3 times 21 is 63, divided by 2. We can make this a fraction, we can make this a decimal, it doesn't matter. So 63 divided by 2. I find 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 3 1 time, with 1 left over. What's my units?
Inches.
Not inches. It's inches squared because this is area. So because I'm taking inches times inches, am I not? My base is inches, my height is inches. Inches times inches is inches squared. Write this down. This gives us the area of a rectangle is 800 inches squared. The length is 120. The width, we don't know. So first thing I do is I write down my formula. Area for a rectangle is length times width. I replace my variables with what I know. 800 for A, 120 for L, and I don't know my W, that's what I don't know. So I divide by, or so I leave it as W. To solve this, I divide by 120. I take 80 divided by 12. 12 goes into 80 6 times. Alright, with 8 left over, 12 goes into 80 6 times. It would be keep on going. So I would write this as 6.6 repeating, and inches, that's my units. So we could also write that as 6 2/3. Alright. Any questions? What is your question, Emery? That's not a question.
I have a question.
Write this down, guys. This is your assignment.